The Bible teaches us that the words we speak hold tremendous power. They can either build others up or tear them down. It's fascinating how many of life's impactful moments stem from simple acts of communication. Take salvation, for instance. It happens when we encounter the profound message of the gospel, often delivered through passionate preaching that touches our hearts. It's a moment of connection when someone's words resonate deeply with our souls. And then, in a beautiful exchange, belief takes root within us, and we find ourselves confessing with our own mouths, a declaration that leads to salvation. It's a powerful testament to the influence of language and the divine interactions that shape our lives. In the book of Genesis, we witness the unfolding of creation, where everything springs into being through the sheer force of God's spoken word. When the divine Son descended to dwell among us on earth, he could have chosen any form, yet he chose to manifest as the embodiment of the word itself. This choice underscores the immense significance of words. They hold a profound power, a power that God himself values deeply, safeguarding, treasuring, and honoring his own spoken word above all else. There's this profound moment in the Bible that goes like this. Since there wasn't anyone greater to swear by, God swore by himself. It's saying that God isn't just about words. He embodies them. He communicates, sends his Son as the living embodiment of his message, and creates everything through the very words he speaks. It's like the whole world comes into being through his words alone. It's crucial to recognize the power of our words in shaping our personal narratives and shaping the trajectory of our lives. The first fundamental principle: faith isn't just a part of our lives, it is our way of life. Think of it as the everyday essence of the community following Jesus. It's not like a fleeting guest or a rare occurrence. It's more like the air we breathe, constantly present and sustaining us. Faith isn't merely something we possess, it's what defines how we live. To fully experience the richness of God's promises, one must embrace a life characterized by faith in action. The Bible underscores this truth in Romans chapter 1, verse 17. For in the gospel, the righteousness of God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous will live by faith.
Living by faith means living with a belief that drives action. So how do the righteous live? They live with a faith that manifests real change. They operate from a faith that sparks new opportunities. The righteous share what they've learned from their spiritual connection, and these insights shape a new reality. Those who are deemed righteous often speak of what they have glimpsed in heaven, and those heavenly visions often find their way into reality over time. Why does this happen? Well, it's because the righteous lead their lives with unwavering faith. The potential for these visions to manifest exists even without direct intervention from a higher power. But when God does intervene, their realization becomes all but certain. What seemed impossible before, especially without God's promise, transforms into an unavoidable outcome once He has made that promise. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. My eyes simply couldn't believe it. It wasn't something I'd ever come across in my learning or everyday life. I hadn't even heard a whisper of it. And it definitely hadn't touched my heart. It hadn't even made it past the surface. But this is what God has in store for those who truly love Him and live by His teachings. He's got something planned for you that's beyond comprehension, beyond anything you could dream up, something that's never even crossed your mind.
It seems impossible, but if we keep our faith strong, without letting doubt creep in, and if we follow His guidance with unwavering trust, we'll see every promise He's made come to life, step by step, from one amazing moment to the next. This isn't just talking up the gospel, it's living it out in real life. At times it feels like promises are just lingering in the distance, waiting to be fulfilled. They might have been put on hold because we weren't quite ready, or because the timing wasn't quite right. But when we're in sync with God's timing, living in accordance with His will, and He nudges us to act, nothing can stand in our way. No negative words or opposing forces can block us from the blessings that God has already set aside for us. If we truly believe this, we can boldly declare, "My family and I will walk in faith every step of the way. Through our unwavering trust, we'll witness miracles every single day, all to honor God." With that kind of conviction, my friend, we can rejoice without reservation. A lot of what shapes our lives today began as simple conversations. I find it fascinating how God works in this creative process, always ensuring that the manageable tasks fall to us, while reserving the truly impossible feats for Himself. It's much simpler for us to believe in what we've heard, and then share those visions with others, compared to actually bringing those visions to life. Take, for example, hearing from God that a desolate valley can thrive again, and then sharing that message with others. That's one thing, but transforming a barren valley into a thriving, powerful force, that's a whole other level. It highlights the partnership between humanity and the divine, where we're entrusted with the accessible tasks while God handles the miraculous. It's funny how we tend to overlook the simplest things in life. It's like we trip over our own feet while the solution is right under our noses. And in doing so, we sometimes end up saying things that don't quite match up with what we believe deep down. We hold on to opinions that might not be in line with what the higher power has in mind for us. Think about it, Reverend. Has anyone ever told you that you won't make it? Maybe it was someone who hasn't known you for long compared to the Almighty who's known you forever. And let's be real, His plans for us are way bigger than anything a passing acquaintance could imagine.
Now let's talk about happiness. Consider David's story, for example. Some might say his encounters with bears and lions were just preparation for facing Goliath. But if we lean into that idea, we're essentially saying David's victory over the giant was solely due to his skills, without acknowledging the divine intervention that likely played a part. David's feat might seem like something any skilled fighter could accomplish. However, faith delves deeper than mere physical prowess. It's about cultivating a profound reliance on God. In the face of a lion's menacing roar, David didn't just summon his courage, he turned to God, acknowledging his dependence on divine strength. Similarly, when confronted by a bear's ferocity, David didn't rely solely on his own abilities. He entrusted himself to God's care. These encounters weren't just about survival. They were opportunities for David to forge an unshakable bond of dependence on God's providence and protection, a lesson in faith that would serve him well in the trials that lay ahead. When David faced the towering giant, his trust in God ran deep. He boldly asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine to challenge the armies of the living God? I'll face him in the name of the Lord." It was a profound display of faith and courage. Similarly, walking in faith operates on this same principle, drawing strength from our trust in a higher power. As we learn to trust and depend on God more and more, we become increasingly convinced that what He has promised will indeed come to pass. It's a bit like relying on a dear friend who always comes through for you. With each fulfilled promise, our trust deepens. Others might wonder, what does this person know that the rest of us don't? It's simply that they're attuned to what God has revealed to them. And when someone has experienced a direct message or vision from God, it's incredibly difficult to persuade them to go against His guidance.
Ever had one of those moments where doubt starts knocking, making you question if your efforts are worth it? Picture Nehemiah facing skeptics, yet holding firm to his vision of rebuilding. Or Noah, enduring mockery, but steadfast in constructing his ark. And then there's Peter, hesitant despite hearing Jesus' call. What makes all the difference in these moments is a clear revelation, a word from above, a full understanding of what lies ahead. It's that light bulb moment when you see your future so clearly that doubt simply fades away. You're not just envisioning it, you're living it in your mind, feeling it deep in your bones. And once you've had that experience, nothing can shake your belief because you've been there, seen it, walked the path, and felt its certainty firsthand. Throughout history, we've seen how God works through people by giving them foresight into the future. Take Joseph, for example. In times of abundance, while others may have been complacent, he took action based on insights from God that no one else had. This proactive approach prepared him for the challenges ahead. When the famine struck, Joseph's leadership came to the fore, guiding his people through the crisis. God has reached out to you countless times, guiding you towards your future, revealing your prophetic destiny, and sharing the heavenly agenda for your life, even detailing what lies ahead in the next year. However, if there's ever been a moment when you haven't tapped into these divine messages, or perhaps they've slipped from memory, I strongly advise you to earnestly seek a fresh word and vision from God in the days ahead. Starting something without a clear direction is like sprinting blindly. You might pick up speed, but you'll end up going nowhere fast. You need a guiding light. What's the plan for the next year? Search for it earnestly, pray about it, and consider fasting.
Which door is meant for me, and where can I confidently step through? What paths should I follow, and which ones should I avoid? God, what's your take on this? Can you guide me towards ideas that align with your purpose? Help me see the heavenly notions and shape my understanding, so I don't find myself endlessly wandering in circles in life's desert. I am eager to experience the blessings the Lord has in store for me in the upcoming year, and I don't want to wait a decade to witness His plans unfold. I yearn for the entirety of His promises to manifest in my life. Each day, my household and I are committed to serving Him faithfully, breaking through challenges with unwavering faith. Our earnest desire is to witness the divine hand of the Lord delivering us from adversities and guiding us towards fulfillment. Let's take a moment to express our gratitude for all the blessings bestowed upon us. As we gather together in prayer, let us open our hearts to thank the Lord for His endless grace and mercy. In times of joy and in moments of trial, His presence sustains us and fills us with hope. Join me in lifting our voices in prayer, acknowledging His goodness and seeking His guidance in every aspect of our lives. Together, let us find solace and strength in the power of prayer. Almighty and everlasting God, as we conclude this time of reflection on the power of our words and the depth of our faith, we come before you humbly, recognizing the vastness of your presence in our lives. You who spoke the universe into existence with a word, who formed us intricately and breathed life into our very beings, we stand in awe of your majesty and grace. We thank you for the gift of language, for the profound ability to communicate, to share, and to proclaim your eternal truth.
May our words always echo the resonance of your love and mercy, lifting and encouraging those around us. Grant us the wisdom to speak with kindness, the courage to speak with conviction, and the humility to speak with grace. As we embark on the journey of faith, may we walk hand in hand with unwavering trust in your promises, knowing that you are faithful to fulfill every word spoken over our lives. Help us to live each day with a faith that moves mountains, a faith that believes in the impossible, because we serve a God who makes all things possible. Guide us, O Lord, as we navigate the uncertainties of the future. Grant us clarity of vision and purpose. May we be like Joseph, discerning your divine direction and acting upon it with boldness and obedience, even in the face of adversity. And as we look ahead to the coming year, we earnestly seek your guidance and revelation. Speak to our hearts, O God, and reveal to us the plans you have for us, plans to prosper us and not to harm us. plans to give us hope and a future filled with your abundant blessings. In all things may your will be done, and may your name be glorified. For you alone are worthy of all praise and honor, now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you deeply for walking alongside us until this moment. Your steadfast presence and commitment mean the world to us, beyond what words can capture. If these words have touched your heart, please share an amen in the comments. Join us on this extraordinary journey by following our channel and becoming part of something truly meaningful. Your time, attention, and support have meant everything to us.